Question 11. The feasibility of a chemical reactions depend on the temperature and the signs of delta H and delta S. Which row has signs for delta H and delta S for a reaction that is feasible at higher temperatures but is not feasible at lower temperature? We're looking at delta H and delta S, and the relationship between the two is what we call the Gibbs-free equation. Here's the Gibbs-free equation, where delta H is the enthalpy, delta S is the entropy, change in entropy, and T is the temperature. But what we're now looking for in this equation is that the Gibbs-free is feasible when delta G, or when the Gibbs-free is less than or equal to 0. That means the reaction will take place. So feasibility means the reaction will take place, or the reaction will happen at a constant pressure. Therefore, delta G, when it's less than 0, we call that spontaneous reaction. When delta G is equal to 0, it is an equilibrium reaction which is reversible. Looking at the options to the answers, if we linearize this equation, that means we write it as y equals mx plus c, where the c is delta H, and the delta S is m, and delta T is x, and delta G is y. We can sketch a graph like that. This is the kind of graph we're looking for. This is at low temperature, and this is at higher temperature. And the question says we're looking for the reaction will be feasible at higher temperature. So that means if it's feasible at higher temperature, delta G must be negative, but not feasible at low temperature, which means that to be delta G must be positive. So this is a low temperature where delta G is positive, and this is higher temperature where delta G is negative. So this is a graph we're looking for. Just to remind ourselves that this one is y equals mx plus c. So this point here is delta H, and the gradient here of the graph is delta S. But in this case, it's minus delta S. So therefore, delta S must be positive. But also, we know that we can see that delta H, the intercept, is also positive. Therefore, these are the 2 points that we're looking for. And so we would say that A is the correct answer, which I'll circle that, and I'll have to write A here.